Okay, so before we get into aviation, I've never been to Las Vegas. What is Las Vegas like?
Really? You have never been to Las Vegas?
I've never been.
Wow. Well, Vegas is an interesting city,
You don't say.
to say the least. When people that don't live here and they come visit and they realize that there's definitely more to the city than the strip, and they're like, wow, there's people that actually live here in Vegas. There's actually about 2 million people that live here in Las Vegas. And but obviously Vegas is known for the Las Vegas Strip. And but the thing about Vegas is actually there's a lot more to do out here than just the Strip. And you quickly become acclimated to becoming a local when you definitely get sick of like visiting the Strip. Like, as a local now, I never go to the Strip except when people come and visit. And even then, people come and visit and like, hey man, let's come hang out at Caesars or Bellagio. And you're just kind of like, okay. I guess it's the same way with you in Chicago. Like, downtown is fun and all, but I mean, do you really hang out downtown much? It's like you do things. There's so much to do away from the Strip. But anyway, Vegas is it's fun to live here. And like I mentioned, if you're an outdoor person, there's actually quite a lot to do. Mount Charleston is an hour away, and Mount Charleston Peak is just a shade under 12,000 feet. So you can actually go skiing and snowboarding up there in the winter. Death Valley's a couple hours away. Zion is a few hours away. Grand Canyon. So it's actually a really big area for people that love hiking, biking, rock climbing, things like that. And then it's also a great foodie scene. And again, even off the Strip, my wife and I, we really like going out, trying new restaurants and new bars, having a good cocktail and good meal. And Vegas is really a big melting pot, like any other city, on and off the Strip. And there seems to be like a new bar or new restaurant opening up every month or two. And it really is a foodie town. And that's another thing that I really like about it. And then also the weather is nice. No offense to you all in Illinois, but that was one of the reasons I actually moved out here, was to get away from those cold Midwest winters. And
it was like 7 degrees today, and I live right on the lake, so I like to take walks to it, and then there's like nobody, and I love the solitude that the cold allows.
To each their own, Rich. I think it was 62 and sunny here today. I had a polo on, and it was quite nice. So I like to give my family and friends back home a hard time whenever it gets really cold there and it's nice here. I'm like, hey guys, just hanging out with outside. It's 60 degrees and sunny. So
this was a lawn underwear day underneath the jeans.
So the weather is definitely another reason why I moved out here, and I enjoy living here, because in the summertime, even though it does get hot, as the saying goes, and everybody is sick of me saying it, I'd much rather prefer the dry heat over the humidity any day of the year. So it's really nice pretty much throughout the entire year.
So I do hear a lot about Vegas outside of like the Strip, and I hear that the city is growing quite a bit. What do you think it looks like 10 years from now?
I can't take anything away from the Strip itself. I mean, the city it centers around that, as it should. And as much as I like to give the Strip a hard time, there is so much to do there. And we label ourselves, or Vegas labels itself, as the entertainment capital of the world. And it's obvious with all the shows, the nightlife, the performers, and then as well as the culinary experiences you can get on the Strip. We just recently, last year, opened up a new mega resort called Resorts World, which is on the north end of the Strip. And the Strip seems to be kind of migrating north. If you actually look at it on a map, it starts down by the airport, goes up north, and then kind of between that new resort, or the Wynn, I should say, in the Stratosphere, there's still kind of an empty space. There's empty spaces there, but I would think in the next 10 years, we'd probably see at least one more mega resort start being built, and possibly even another stadium. That was actually one thing I made note of, was that Vegas is really becoming a sports town, and that's one thing I really love. It started with well, actually, you can go back to the early '90s with the UNLV men's basketball teams that were extremely popular, and that really, I think, put Vegas on the map sports wise. And there was a little bit of a lull between then and now after they had their few successful seasons, but the Golden Knights obviously came into town and they've done extremely well. The Raiders are now in town. The WNBA team, the Aces, have had success recently as well. And there's rumors that the Athletics now might be coming here. And then I actually just read today that the MLS is looking at possibly bringing a franchise here in the near future.
Wow. And I always hear the NBA is looking at Vegas too.
I was just about to say, I think it's only a matter of time before we get an NBA team here. I mean, it'd be crazy for them not to be here, with seeing the success of both the Golden Knights and the Raiders. And we've already got a stadium. I mean, they could co-locate with the Golden Knights, I'm sure, if they needed to, or I mean, there's plenty of space to build a stadium, on the strip somewhere. But I definitely agree with you that I could definitely see in the next 10 years, an MLS team, an MLB team, and an NBA team all coming to Las Vegas, possibly within the next 5 years. I don't know. So between that and like I said, possibly another mega resort being built, and the Fountain Blue, which if you look that up, that's a project that started back before the 2008 crash. They literally built the building, which was like 60 or 70 stories high. Well, maybe not that high, but it's a giant building. If you look it up, you'll see pictures of it. And they stopped during the when the financial crisis hit in 2008. They stopped building it, and it's basically been sitting empty since then. There's been a couple buyers that said they're gonna renovate it, and then they didn't. Now there's another one that they say that they're going to get it up and running, I think, by the end of 2023. And again, that's another property towards the north part of the strip. And so it's the Las Vegas Strip is slowly migrating north towards the stratosphere. And if that actually comes to fruition, that's just, like I said, that's another property on the ever-growing Las Vegas Strip. And so I really think with COVID, knock on wood, hopefully starting to get behind us, that the next 10 years are really going to be booming for Las Vegas.
Yeah. This is a photo of it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So imagine that thing just sitting vacant since about 2008, 2009.
Wow.
Like, there's been nothing going on, unfortunately. And it'd be really nice to get that property up and running. So like I said, a developer has bought the building and the land, and they say it's going to be ready by the end of 2023. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, right.